I wanted to do a quick intro to what QuickBooks Online is. And I'm thinking that some of you might not even be familiar with the program. So before I just go right into lessons on how to use it, let me introduce to you what the program is. Now, I'm an educator, so I like to use visual aids. So I'm going to present with my screen to you a PowerPoint that I put together. And it is on Office 365 because I am a cloud-based gal. So, all right, so I'm not going to say QuickBooks Online anymore. It's QBO. So this is a quick introduction to QBO. So Intuit is the maker of QuickBooks. They're popular for TurboTax. So QuickBooks Online versus desktop. A couple of years, I want to say 5 years ago, this was the big debate. Now, honestly, QuickBooks Online is just the trend. So we see Intuit not giving as much attention to desktop, but they're both available. So let's look at it. If you click on this link, and by the way, anyone who wants my PowerPoint, all you have to do is send me your email and I'll send any of my PowerPoints. I create them all, so there's no copyright infringement. So I would send them to you with the links because you might want some of these links. This link right here on the top, and I'm not going to click on it, is a chart on intuit.com that basically side by side shows you the features of online versus desktop. So what is QuickBooks Online? It's a cloud-based accounting bookkeeping program for a small to mid-sized business. And there's 5 subscription levels. And I'm going to click on this link in a minute that tells you the pricing. QuickBooks Desktop is a one-time purchase accounting bookkeeping software that you would install on your desktop computer. And there's 3 of them. The smallest one being Pro, which I believe at this time is $249. And then the largest one, I think is about $800 or $900. So the thing you want to take into consideration is you do have an initial investment of a couple of $100s, as well as on a yearly basis, there'll be some sort of update or new feature that you would have to pay for. So there would be some sort of annual charge along with that initial couple of $100s that you're investing. So a lot of small businesses and mid-sized businesses are gravitating toward QuickBooks Online, which are very reasonable. So I'm going to click on this link because this link is going to bring us to the current prices. And wow, so they have a sale right now. Self-employed is $1 a month for 12 months. I think that's probably the cheapest I've ever seen it. So it's normally $15 as you see here, but right now it is $1 a month. And then we have these 4 right here, and this is Simple Start, $8 a month, Essential, which is $12 a month, Plus, which is $21 a month, and Advanced, $45 a month, and the most popular being the Plus. Now, if you're going to be an outsourced bookkeeper or accountant, you are going to want to, I don't want any help. Thank you. I'm going to say no, thanks. You're going to want to look at all of these in detail so that you could sit down with your client on the initial, chat and say, listen, I think that this would be best suited for you. Or if you're a small business that you don't want to have to get an outsourced bookkeeper and you're looking into training yourself in this program, you're going to want to sit down, come to intuit.com and look at all the features and say, okay, well, I think this is going to help. So if you have X amount of number of users that you need to access it, well, then you're going to look and say which specific plan suits your needs. So I'm going to exit out of that, go back to my PowerPoint. So I just discussed with you the 5 QBO subscriptions. There's another one. It's QBOA, and that's the account I have. So when I do my lessons and I share them with you, you're going to be seeing it through a QBOA account. So that's the QuickBooks Online account and subscription, and it's free to accountants and bookkeepers. And I have a link right there for you to click on if you want to sign up for one. It is an absolute excellent account because I get free training yearly. They have webinars training webinars that you can access at any time on hundreds of topics. They have yearly online boot camps that help you in studying and preparing for the QuickBooks Online certification process, which I'll be discussing as well. And I attend that every year. That's yearly because even after you get your certification every year, you still have to recertify on anything new, any new features or new updates or new laws that come about. And then you also have the in-person. I did 2 last year. They go all over the group of trainers, the Intuit certified trainers go all over the United States. Last year, I went to one in Philadelphia. I think it was the Ramada Inn near the airport. It was wonderful. It was very detailed, organized. I don't even think anybody left early. The lunch was delicious. It was a really great experience. I also went to the Long Island one, a very good one. So when you got that QBO account, it really helps with all the training and really getting you prepared for certification and helping your clients. I also, as I told you, I'm an educator, so I have to have professional development hours, and it's free. So why not just take advantage of it? So last thing I want to do in this quick intro is when QBO first hit, Intuit decided they would provide a link to a sample company so that potential users can access it in order to get an idea of how the program works. So this is a test drive site, and you can practice on it. You can't permanently save anything on it, but we're going to explore it right now. This is just going to be a quick intro. In the book I use, the first chapter, we go into detail on different, how the dashboard looks and where you would find the different features. So this one, I'm just going to do a quick, this is what it looks like. This is where this is at. Books, talking about books, you can get a cheap how-to QuickBooks for Dummies. It's going to give you the basics. I really encourage, people come to me and say, listen, I have a small business. I want to do my own bookkeeping. I tell them, invest, get a decent collegiate level or, associate degree level textbook that is going to, in detail, cover everything with you. I'm going to throw out some names, publishers that are great. I'm using McGraw-Hill. I really like McGraw-Hill. Pearson is another good one. Paradigm is really great. Cengage. So those are the four I would look at: McGraw-Hill, Pearson, Paradigm, and Cengage. They're really, they put out some really great books. And then, in the comments, if anybody wants to share any book that they found and the cost of it, I know some of them could be quite costly. I've heard of students in the past that have gone to Amazon Bookstore, eBay. The thing you want to take into consideration is if the book, like my book that I have here, it comes with a code so that the learner has a 1-year subscription to the Simple Start. If you buy it used, you're not going to get that code. So you're not going to be able to use, so you're going to have to actually right away get the account and use the account. And then you would have to sign on, I don't know what account or what the payment might be, but you'll have to sign right away and get an account, which, might be what you're headed for anyway. So that's it. I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm not a big fan of the, QuickBook for Dummies book. I'd go ahead and invest a little bit and get a decent book that you want to use. So let's look at this test drive. So this is going to be Craig's Design and Landscaping. I'm not a robot. Okay, let's see. What is this? Traffic lights. Sometimes, if a lot of people are utilizing the sites, they just want to make sure you're not. Do I got to do this too? Let's see. I'm not a robot, I swear. Okay, good. Is it going to let me in? All right, great. Here we go. Craig's Design and Landscaping Services. And if you don't ask for my PowerPoint and you really want to use this, Google it. Google QBO test drive or QBO sample company, and it should come up with the Craig Design Landscaping Service. So I'm just going to do a quick overview here. So for those of you who are doing manual accounting, great, come on here. You'll be able to see where you do everything. Those of you who are looking into changing from desktop to QuickBooks Online, you're not going to get that awesome homepage. That's what I miss the most from teaching QBO. You don't have that initial homepage where it has all the icons and makes it so it's like simplistic. You just click right there and bam, you're in there. It's a little bit longer. You just have to do one extra step, but it's all here. So you look on the left-hand side. This is the navigation bar. You have all these tabs. When I do my lesson, I'm going to go over what each one of these are. And then you have the new button and the gear icon. That's what I'm going to look at real quick with you. So if you go to the plus sign new button, here you have customers, vendors, employees, and others. So under customers, most of it is self-explanatory. You have inventory for your accounts receivable customers. You can click on it. You're going to send, create an invoice for them. Of course, you have to create your customers. In the book that I use, the first chapter, we're going to look at this as just a snapshot of what's going on. And then the whole rest of the book is creating a brand new QuickBook Online Simple Start for a small business. Receive payment. So we sent out that invoice and then they sent us payment, whether we received the check or we got an electronic. We're going to click over here to receive payment, put our customer's information. And so we now would, and everything you learned in intro to accounting, you went down to your journal and you created everything. That's not what's going on here. You're not going to do a journal entry for everything. Instead, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be clicking on each one of these features, putting what's going on, and QuickBooks Online records everything for you in your journal entry. You have estimate, or if you're issuing a credit memo. Sales receipt is for your cash sales. Let's look at vendors. So, we'd be inputting all our vendors. And then once we have them in there, we're going to go, or you can even click on expense and then add new vendor, but you wouldn't want to do that. We input all our vendors and we'd click on expense if we want to acknowledge an expense. Or you can write a check for an expense. And when you click on a check, you go down to items detail and you click on what expense you're paying or what supply you're paying or whatever item it is. And then you have bill. So if you receive the bill in the mail, you pay it later. So it'll be liability. You're going to input it there. And when you have to pay it 30 days later, you click on pay bills and then all your bills come on, you click it and you make sure it adheres to whatever check number you're paying it with. And you have purchase order, vendor credit, credit card credits, and print checks. Under employees, we have payroll, single time activity, and weekly timesheet. Under this book I'm using now, we don't have that. The previous book, which I believe was Paradigm, we had a interior designer who had an independent contractor. And then they hired that person as an employee, and then we were able to use some of those weekly timesheets and single time activities. So even though with the book I'm using now, I'm not going to address that, I can do that in a short tutorial. And then under other, you have bank deposits or transfer, like if you're taking a bank loan, transferring it into cash. You have journal entries. So if you're taking an asset that you need to now transfer into income, or an accounts payable, you need to transfer to a loan payable, and you're manually going to put that in. You click on journal entry and you manually put it in. Adjusting entries, we'll do some of those. You click on a journal entry and you manually put in your adjusting entries, let's say the supplies, depreciation, and so on. Then you have statements if you want to create a statement for your customer. Inventory quantity adjustment. So you go to your supply closets, things are missing. Your inventory closet, things are missing. You'll make the adjustment there, or pay down your credit card. So that's the plus sign new in a short little snapshot. Then you have your gear icon, and over here you have your company. And this is what is this? A simple start? Might be a simple start. You have account and settings. I know for some of them it'll be different. So for this one, it's account and settings, but when you click on it, it still brings you to the same thing on all your accounts. You have company. A company, you'll be able to change the name. Let's go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to click edit, and I am not Craig's Design and Landscaping. I am Nicole, the business instructor. And I'm going to save that. And then let me exit out of it and look real quick and make sure that's changed. And remember, this is a test drive, so it's not going to stay. But here you see, and then I could click here and add my logo or picture of myself. Manage users, who can use and what do they have access to. Custom form styles, chart of accounts. So setting up your chart of accounts, or coming down over here to accounting and clicking on chart of accounts. What else do we have? We have all lists, product and services, which you also can access through clicking on sales. You'll see it's just like the desktop version, and that the desktop version, you can go to the home page or you can go up to the tabs. It's the same thing here. You can go, for most of them, I can either go to plus side new or the gear icon, or I can come down over here for the tabs. There'll be several different ways you can do different features. So in the book I'm using, and in the lessons that I'll first be posting, in chapter 1, we'll be utilizing this sample company. And I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to, violate any copyright laws. I'm not going to tell you what book I'm using, and I'm not going to be reading it, verbatim. I'm just going to say, I'm going to go over certain skills with you so that you can have those. Then after that, the rest of the book is creating a small business. So if you're interested in doing that with me, then please do so. One other thing I want to go over real quick with you is the tools. You have import data and export data. There are some changes for my desktop version, users. There are a few things or limitations here, but we can get into that at another time. So that was just my quick, I didn't want to go into detail with that. But if you are interested in this PowerPoint, shoot me a message and I will send it to you. And so now you know what QBO is, and we can certainly I could address certain, specific things you want me to address, but in my next video I'll be posting, it'll be looking at that test drive. We'll do specific, we'll be setting up the account list, customers, vendors through that test drive. And then after that, the lessons that I'll post is setting up a small business from scratch. All right. Thank you.